everyone. I am back. The commish is speaking, heading into week 5. So I know that haven't been on my game lately. I apologize for that. Hopefully we can do one a week moving forward. Fighting a little bit of a bug, so not on top of my game today, but gotta give the people what they want, right? So we'll start just kind of high level. We'll move through stuff really quick. Just this first video. As far as trades are concerned, in the preseason, Rick, after the draft, traded his 3rd round and James White to Kirk for Carlos Hyde. A little bit confusing to me, only because Carlos Hyde was taken in the 1st by Kirk. So I know you have the potential with James White there to help that a little bit, but basically to go Carlos Hyde for a 3rd, even though you used a 1st on him, seemed a little bit confusing to me, but Kirk loves his draft picks. Micah traded Mike Gillislee after his huge week, Terrell Pryor, and a 6th round to Tony for DeAndre Hopkins and Greg Olsen. Kind of went back and forth on loving this trade for one or another. I think it's pretty much even, but loved it. Then Greg Olsen went down. I loved it for Tony, and then Greg Olsen went down, that whole thing. Terrell Pryor, he had a good week last week. I'm not sure how they'll keep that going. Gillislee, it's just a Patriot running back, so he's going to have great weeks, going to have terrible weeks. But I think for Micah, to get DeAndre Hopkins, I like that just because the potential is so high. Nothing in week 2. In week 3, we had... Sorry, something just popped up on my computer. We had a pretty big trade between Tyler and myself. I was actually trying to trade while at the Purdue game, Purdue-Michigan at Purdue. Wasn't getting a lot of reception there, so appreciate the patience there, Tyler. Tyler's trading away Julio Jones, his keeper this year. In return, got Lamar Miller from me, as well as Des Bryant, and a 4th round. Julio Jones is one of those guys that, half the people love him and want him, and half the people, because of his inconsistency, don't want to go anywhere near him. So for Tyler, got the depth. I was confident with my depth, though, so I wanted kind of another high-level starter. And then last week, Rick traded away Stephon Diggs, who is one of the top receivers currently. I don't know if I see him finishing that way, but in return, got Christian McCaffrey in the 6th round. Jessica now has the number 1 and 2 receivers in fantasy, I believe, as far as points scored. So Jessica has a strong receiving core. It's a bummer to lose Christian McCaffrey, but looks like she might have done it at the right time because he kind of had a dud week last week. And then just today, we had 2 trades go through. I traded away a 5th and a 6th round, as well as technically Tyrod Taylor. That's who I was going to drop. In return, got Zach Ertz. I like that for both parties. For Dave, he's at the position where he needs to potentially look at selling off some of his team. And to get a 5th and 6th, it's not a complete sell-off to lose your tight end, not a complete sell-off, but it gives him a couple of those extra picks, and he can easily shift into sell mode if he needs to. He also has that 5th and 6th where if he can package it with a couple other 5th and 6th, maybe get a higher pick. And then we had Kirk and Rick trading again. Kirk trading Mike Evans in an 8th round to Rick for Randall Cobb, a 1st and a 5th. Again, I don't exactly get the move for Kirk just because it leaves him with no keeper currently. But he does get a 1st and 5th out of that, so now you're looking at his keepers just from Rick alone. He's got the 1st, 3rd, and 5th, so he's already set up for a pretty good year next year. Mike Evans losing one guy is not huge, plus the difference between him and Randall Cobb, if Randall Cobb is playing, not the biggest thing in the world, so I do get it from that standpoint. And the thing I will say, the caveat as far as my, you're losing your keeper thing, you never know. At the end of the season, if Jordy Nelson retires, well, Randall Cobb's sitting a lot better. And some of their guys that are, bench players now could very well be keepers for next year. So it all depends. So we will, I guess, kind of go to the standings. Not going to go through every week. I am currently at the number 1 spot and can't really hide from it. Definitely getting lucky. So I am 4-0. However, I've scored the 8th most points total. So that should, in theory, leave me at about the 8th spot. But just kind of got lucky. Barely beat Tony on a week where neither one of us scored a lot. Barely by 0.1 beat Brett last week. Or excuse me. Yeah, it was Brett last week or 2 weeks ago maybe. So I've gotten lucky. I'm not hiding from that. But I'm hoping my team still has enough talent to kind of score some points and keep me up there. But the rest of the Black Division not looking strong. Tyler at 2-2, Justin at 2-2, and Tony at an 0-4. So I really thought the black division was going to be a high-scoring, tough division, and that's not to say that it can't get there, but as of right now, a little bit surprising. And then in the silver division, Nate, losing last week for the first time, lost Dalvin Cook, which is a huge loss to his team. But he still has a lot of other pieces that he can work with. Micah at 2-2, still making some trades, still scoring quite a bit of points. Kirk at 2-2, still scoring more points than me. But Kirk appears to be in a weird mode. Where is he selling? Is he playing? Who knows? And Dave at 0-4. Just this. Looking at everybody right now, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that are 2 wins or less. So it's tough because you're 0-4. I was there last year. You feel like there's nothing I can do, but I mean, you're still right in the mix. So especially with non-conference games going on right now for our league, definitely still in the mix. And then the Honolulu Blue division, my favorite just because of the color. Rick at the top, 3-1. Cam is also 3-1, but Rick has scored more. Brett third in that division at 2-2, and Jessica at 1-3. That's kind of where we're at right now. If you look at this week, you got Brett versus Justin, both 2-2. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Brett on this one. I think he has just a few more of those explosive guys. Justin's team is more consistent, I think, for the scoring, but Brett has some of those, like Kareem Hunt, some of those big play guys. Dave against Rick. I hate to see Dave go 0-5, but Rick's got a pretty good team right now, and after trading for Mike Evans, that just made it tougher. Myself against Cam. I got to go with myself right now until someone dethrones me. Nate against Tony. Got to go Nate on that one. Jessica against Kirk. I'm actually going to go Jessica here. I think her team is starting to turn it around a little bit. She was the, I think, third highest scorer through the first 2 or 3 weeks. Just happened to be kind of like me last year. Just happened to be playing really tough people. I'm going to go with Jessica, especially without Mike Evans for Kirk. And I don't know if Cobb's playing or not, maybe. And then you have Micah versus Tyler. I think that'll be a good matchup. Tyler was the highest scorer last week. However, the second highest scorer was Micah. So I think it'll be a shootout. I'm gonna hope Micah, I guess. I'm gonna go Micah. That'll make it easier just for me in the black division. And yeah, still looking for a quarterback, and it talks with a couple teams right now. So by the time this video gets out, I don't know if y'all will see a new quarterback on my roster, but if not, feel free, send them over. I'd love Timmy Brady or Ron Rodgers. I don't know if I could. I want Rodgers. I would hate to cheer for him. So other than that, I'm going to send you guys out with the Welcome Back tune as of 2003 or something like that. Great tune. Good luck to everyone this week, except for Cam, and hopefully we'll catch you all next week.
You know you like that.